Hey, what is up everyone? This is part 2 of consistency on controller. We have a lot to get to today, so let's get started and talk about 3 controllers left: Brimstone, Viper, and Harbor. In this warm-up, let's just go into a swift play and just play one of these agents and get warmed up. So as we said in the last video, setting protocols for utility will improve your consistency because it'll cause you to use the utility as second nature and you won't have to think about it and it'll just come naturally. Let's talk about Brimstone. Brimstone's kit is very basic and is a character that is good for newer players. However, if you go higher in MMR, consistency comes with how you use utility. The Stim Beacon is a piece of utility that players use like it's not really important. And let's talk about how we can use it and why it's so strong. Alright, so just setting a few protocols for Brimstone. You'll mainly see Brimstone on bind, so I'm just gonna go over Brimstone on this map. Two agents that are paired a lot on this map are Brimstone and Skye. The reason being is that his Stim Beacon actually works on Skye's dog. So this is the protocol you want to set. Whenever Skye's dogs are one part of the map, you should stim the Skye so it goes faster and clears more, or goes faster so the opponent, that defender holding this area of the map, is caught off guard by its speed. This is a really important protocol to set. Many players do this in higher elo. I don't think that lower elo players know this, so you guys should definitely be doing this. Now let's talk about Brimstone's Molotov and ultimate. They are super strong for the post plants. And his ultimate stacked on top of his Molotov just completely burns time. You shoot the molly and then you just place the ultimate after the molly expires. This is extremely strong and you want to be saving your ultimates for these kinds of scenarios. But ulting on the side exec is also very strong. A very common strategy is ulting all of U-Haul, so you guys can just scale through site. You don't have to clear this, like this 1/3 of the entire site and just take site. And it has a very high chance of killing someone. If a player is hiding in the corner like here, it should insta-kill someone, right? So Brimstone's protocols, his utility, use his Stim Beacon to either speed up on execs or speed up utility like Skydog. Smokes are standard. No, you should know what the smokes are. And then his Molotov, use it for either to stop the flood. So most players actually, you can see that on attacking, they'll smoke and then molly the CT smoke, so the CT players can't flood into site and retake it fast. Or just save it for the post plant. Ultimate, save for the exec or the post plants. Those are the protocols. Viper is a really strong agent and is consistently in the meta. But to have consistency on this agent, it really depends on her utility. Being able to know where to place her utility and how to use it is extremely important. If y'all want, I can make an in-depth guide into how to play Viper on each map, but to keep it brief, to have consistency on this character, you just need to know where to place walls on each map. Most players newer to Viper simply do not know where to place her utility. This is definitely a learning curve that most players have, and most players are actually scared of picking Viper because of this learning curve. So I'm gonna give you guys the blueprint on how to play Viper on some of her essential maps. You guys can get through this learning curve and start getting consistent on this character. So let's talk about Viper utility. Viper wall, you want to have the Viper wall on Breeze. She has almost 100% pick rate, right? You'll see Viper on this map a lot. Her B wall on tack, this is the wall you want to shoot. Really good for taking sight, cuts off these sight lines on CT and in Ton and in Nest. Also cuts off the sight line from the player playing half wall. You want to put it right here so players can actually play here, like in half wall. Really annoying, so the retakers have to clear that corner. This is the strongest B wall. See this most of the time. On CT, most players will just do a simple mid wall that'll cut off upper. The players can't jump up on here and get a sightline. It also allows defenders to take this mid space easily and cut off sightlines. There's a new wall that's showing up in higher levels of elo, which is a B retake wall. For you guys right now, I recommend just doing the mid wall. This is pretty high tech, and the mid wall is more standard. For A, you want to just shoot a wall, split the site. 2, this cuts off so many sidelines like stairs, yellow, close lefts, back sight, and it allows you to scale through the wall and plant easily. These are the walls you want to do on T and CE almost every round. Now let's go to Icebox. Icebox is also a very strong Viper map. You'll see her 90, 80, 90% of the time, almost 100. The most standard wall that you'll be probably shooting every round is this B wall. Now you might be wondering, wait, what about the A wall that you see sometimes in ranked, where it cuts off the screen line and helps the A take? This is a good wall for the A take. However, since you're the only smokes most of the time, you want to condition your wall to the point where it's always at B. So when you place the B wall, it's not an easy tell like, oh, they're going B. If you place the A wall, it might be a tell, okay, they're gonna go A this round. This conditioning of just placing this B wall every round makes it so they can't have any reads or tells, and this is a lot stronger than this A wall, because this wall, without having this B wall and going B is extremely hard, because you have to fight all these sight lines, nest, snowman, upper, orange, all these sight lines. But in A site, the wall really only covers screens and top screens, so the wall is way more valuable on B. You have to just keep placing this wall. Same thing on CT, you need to place this wall every round. This wall is the A retake and A hold wall. The wall goes like this, covers the entire sidelines. It makes it hard for players to take the site by going through this wall, and it's good for the retake, so players can't really see the bomb when you put up the wall. These two walls are essential.
It's now or never.
Alright, Harbor is a very unique controller and is really only used when it's paired with Viper. However, let's assess some protocols for you guys. Let's go over his utilities. So his cove is mainly really only used when you're planting the bomb defusing. It's insanely strong because players have to destroy this cove to kill the diffuser or the planter. So I'm gonna place it and use plants. Players will have to shoot you. It's very strong. They can't really stop the plant unless they burn through this shield. It's just a very safe bubble to use. Now his cascade to C is what I see most players not really knowing how to use, and it's really just used to cut off lanes. Let's go talk about Icebox B, for example. If I'm taking B main, I don't want to fight all these sidelines, right? Boom, boom. So many different angles I have to fight. So I can just freely scale with this wall, right? If I have 3 players just pushing this wall and scaling with it, it's super strong. It cuts off all the sidelines and I can freely take space. So you really just want to use Cascade as a way to just scale and take space, because it just completely removes sidelines and defenders can't really kill you through this cascade wall. Now his E, his high tide is mainly used just for smokes. That's why it's mainly used with Vipers. Viper has one main wall, and Harbor is like the backup plan for smokes. You want to use it like a Viper wall and cut off sidelines, so when you're taking B, you already know what the best wall is for Viper, you want to do the same as Viper with Harbor. Just cut off all these sidelines, cut off this line, this line, this line. You want to do this. Cascade and plan, right? That's how these are just the protocols you want to set as Harbor. These agents definitely have a large learning curve, but hopefully understanding when to use utility and setting protocols will help you get more comfortable and consistent on this role. Now let's get into a competitive game and test your controller skills, be able to play a lot more comfortably and grab some wins. This is Coach NJV. I hope everyone likes this style of videos. I'll catch you on next.